It's that time again. Time for a brand new What's Up. Today, the co-hosts get heated when they discuss today's elections and whether Chris Rock went too far on Saturday Night Live. And later, we have some guests that'll make you want to flip. All that and much, much more coming up on What's Up.
What is up, everybody? It is Election Day. Thank God. I'm so done with the political ads. Yes. More on that in a second. But welcome to What's Up. We are back to our normal selves after our Halloween special a couple weeks ago.
I was never here.
Yeah, Austin, you missed a heck of a show. We've got
not me.
Joker filled in for you.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Did
And I hear Barney Stinson was here for me.
That's crazy.
Why? Wow. We missed out.
It's pretty impressive.
You guys are crazy. I should have, speaking of costumes, I should have worn my I voted, what's the thing?
Yeah, I voted. Why didn't I wear my
I don't know, I took it out. Well, whatever, it's rough.
Yeah, it is Election Day, like we mentioned, finally. Have you voted? Did you all vote?
Yes,
voted.
Voted first thing this morning.
my patriotic
as soon
duty.
as they opened.
Yeah, I did some absentee voting because I wasn't about to drive all the way to Ashland.
Yeah,
to
did
vote.
you?
Yeah. So,
no, I went all the way home and I voted.
Now that is a patriotic person right there.
I know, I'm all over
I
it.
liked my sleep, so I didn't vote this morning. I voted 3 weeks ago.
It's fine.
But,
it's fine.
We've been talking about, it is Election Day. The attack ads finally go off the air at some point today.
I'm so tired of them. No. This turning me off to both of them is not turning me off to voting, absolutely not, because you have to vote.
Yeah.
But both of McConnell and Grimes, what?
There needs to be a third, like Kitty. Why didn't we just write in Kitty?
I honestly think that if this were an election where there was a third, like a Green Party, like
Libertarian or something,
might have done actually okay in the polls.
Do you
because,
think
my
that
gosh.
with the attack ads, instead of, for me personally, I just think that if they were to spend more money and time on talking about what good they will do or clarifying things that they're being accused of, instead of saying, well, she's done this and he's done that, and make it an opportunity for you to promote yourself, not to demote the person.
Why waste all of that money?
Right. No, I tell you
all of
exactly
those,
why.
Oh my gosh.
I know why. It's because they're banking on the uneducation of Kentucky. They are thinking that, Kentuckians are not educated, which a sad fact is a lot of Kentucky people aren't educated. They don't have even a high school degree.
And they're focusing a lot on the
If they hear, Grimes is this and this, they're going to be like, I hate that Grimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're banking on the fact that we're not educated enough to understand.
And that's offensive. I'm offended by that. I consider myself an educated voter. I'm an educated person, really. And I think, I don't know. But what about celebrity endorsements? Allison Grimes was in Ashland last week with Bill Clinton. And she was in Louisville with Hillary Clinton. And then Mitch McConnell has had some senators and politicians and Republican people, Fox News, a lot of people are endorsing him as well. Does that have an influence? Because this person likes them, that's who you're going to, and you like that person, well, does that make you vote for that person?
Not me personally,
You're right.
But I think it does influence some people. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know it probably doesn't me or maybe some of you guys, but there's a lot of people that I know that do that, go that way, vote that way for whoever's with them, whoever's endorsing them.
Right. Because of the uneducation.
Yeah, because they just don't know a lot about the person, so they say, hey, Democrat, Republican.
Well, I do want to move on. There is something that attack ads have been a key player in this campaign, I think, and one that has recently been aired is one against Allison Grimes' family and their restaurant that they own in Lexington called Hugh, H-U-G-H, Jass, J-A-S-S Burgers.
Hugh Jass Burgers.
Yeah. And, Allison Grimes has centered a lot of her campaign on increasing the minimum wage in the state of Kentucky. The minimum wage is $7.25 an hour, and she claims that that $7.25 an hour does not raise a family of four above the poverty level. According to CNN, documents and interviews with employees at the burger joint in Lexington say that they actually only pay employees $2.13 an hour plus tips. And when confronted on this issue, her response was her family isn't on the ballot. She is. I'm just saying, when you go against something that you're campaigning on, I think all bets are off. And all parties. Let me just say that too. All parties.
Okay, here I go on this. Here I go on this. Okay, here we go. To me, this, when you first told me this, I was like, what? That's insane, because to present it like this actually sounds awful. Listen to this. The people that get paid $2.13 an hour at this restaurant are servers, which the minimum for servers in Kentucky is what? You guessed it, $2.13
yes,
an hour.
exactly.
Because of tips. So it's
But
very
hold up
misleading.
now.
Listen, no,
Okay,
I'm not
okay,
done. I'm not done.
okay.
I'm not done. It's very misleading to say the minimum wage is $7.25,
$7.25.
yet she's paying her employees $2.13 an hour when the minimum for servers is $2.13 an hour, and it cannot be raised under McConnell, no matter, because it's
But
a
let's
restaurant in
be clear
Kentucky.
here. First of all, with the $2.13 an hour plus tips, okay, a lot of things that aren't clear is this restaurant one of those restaurants where all the tips are laid out on the table at the end of the day and you split them amongst all the servers, or is it one that you make if you're tipped this amount, that's how much you make? Because either way, I have a problem with it, because $2.13, if I work my butt off and I've got a party of 20 people and I get a $100 tip, and Caroline has no, don't seat people in my section, don't do that to me, and she makes $5 in tips, am I supposed to give her some of mine? Like, that's what I don't feel with.
It doesn't matter. Then your beef is not with Grimes. Your beef is with
my
the
beef
restaurant
is also,
company
if
in
this
general.
is a slow night, and a lot of servers do depend on tips for their money, if nobody comes in the restaurant and they don't have a slow night, how are they supposed to be able to pay bills or stuff if they're not, it's a rough economy. Not a lot of people are going out to eat.
See, your issue is with the economy in general. It's not with Allison Grimes.
But
Allison Grimes is only doing what she is supposed to do. Well, not even
don't think
her.
that's what
her
she's supposed
family.
to do.
Her family is only doing required under law what they are supposed to do. $2.13
But if
an
she's
hour.
against the minimum wage being $7.25 and saying that that's not enough to raise a family, why is it then that she's not having her restaurant and her family's restaurant pay their employees more than what the minimum wage is for servers? That's my problem. It's a double standard. She's saying, I don't like the minimum wage, it's not enough, but that's what her family's restaurant pays for them. Are you seeing what I'm saying?
No, I see what you're saying, but I think you need to understand that she's not breaking the law.
I know she's not, and I'm not saying she's breaking the law.
So
I'm
you
saying
think because she wants the minimum raise wage,
practice what you preach. That's what I'm saying.
her family's restaurant, not her. Her
But she's the
family's
family
restaurant.
lawyer.
Can I say that if I got judged based on what my family, my Uncle Randy
Thank you.
does,
I'm not saying that
would
you're
be-
being judged for what Uncle Randy is.
But you are judging Grimes on what her family is doing.
Okay.
When they are just following
Okay.
the law,
Well-
under the law of Mitch McConnell, who will not raise the minimum wage. So she
Because
is
if you
required.
raise the minimum wage, Caroline, then that means that income taxes are also going to go up and other taxes, and then that's going to cause people to mistrust the government even more. $7.25 isn't meant to raise a family for. I'm sorry. I don't see it as it's a way for kids to start a career or start a job when they're paying for college. And if you're in a rough economy like we are and you lose your job, this is where you go to make money.
minimum
That's
wage
what I'm
jobs.
saying. Minimum to help you get on your feet until you have it. And I'm not saying Mitch McConnell's the same either. Let me get that clear. I'm just saying that, he's voted to raise his own income. Which, duh.
To be fair, I would vote to raise my own salary too.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm being completely honest, Mitch McConnell, for instance, has voted against the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay for Women Act 3 times. And under 30 years of Mitch McConnell, women only make 77 cents to every dollar that
But isn't
men
that
raise.
the company's decision who makes the money?
He voted against
I know,
the
but-
Ledbetter Act, which
but also-
changes that. He voted against it 3 times. So I don't want to hear.
Oh my God.
I don't even want to hear.
Woo,
that
it's
he's-
getting hot up in
Sorry,
here.
here we go. I'm going. You are a white male and you have been privileged your whole life. You don't know what
But
it's like
that's
to
my
struggle like
fault?
these people. No, it's not your fault.
Right, because
But
I struggle every day.
we're struggling for real. Cindy, I'm sure she faces all kinds of prejudice all the time. You know what I mean? It's a struggle. It is a struggle. And how do you feel about making 77 cents if Chad gets paid $1 for the exact same job?
I want the same amount.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. All right, we probably need to take a break.
We're
Yes.
way over time. I need to take a break. We'll be right back with, unfortunately, more hot topics.
It never gets old, huh?
Nope.
It kind of makes you wanna.
Breaking the song?
Yup. I love the sunset.
I love Eagle Lake.
I love the forest. I love when eagles play.
I love the campus!
And all its sights and sounds.
I love philosophy.
And all its weird words.
I love the music.
And all its melodies. Boom diada, boom diada.
Boom diada, boom diada.
I love fraternities.
I love survivors.
I love to draw things.
And all the athletes.
I love Moorhead.
It's such a pretty place.
Well, welcome back.
Shoo.
Well, first of all, before we move on, I love you, Caroline.
I love you too.
I love you too. We, that's what
fine.
our good friends are for. We're able
Right.
to have a conversation or whatever that was.
Right, I had to get a
Move
drink.
on.
That was.
I know. I'm like, thank you to Sydney, first of all, for fanning me. Like at one point, she, well,
It's rough. Okay, so
go
our election
vote. That's the
day.
important of our thing. The election day note card, where is it? Right here?
Gone.
Gone.
Oh man.
Throw this. I don't want to get caught crossfire again, man.
There we go.
All right.
All right,
Now
next.
to AT&T. The Federal Trade Commission has filed a federal court complaint against AT&T, claiming that the company has been misleading customers who have unlimited data plans by actually slowing down their connection speeds by up to 90%. The complaint alleges that the company failed to adequately disclose to its customers that if they reach a certain amount of data used in a billing cycle, AT&T will throttle, aka slow down their connection. Is this ethical? Because I say no.
No.
No, it's not. It's terrible.
It's frustrating because I do
Very.
have AT&T,
Right,
and
me too.
it's my phone works about 2% of the time.
If you pay for unlimited data, you should get
Yeah.
unlimited data.
Exactly.
Full speed.
Right.
I'd like to know what their definition of where that peak is, where you've reached this amount. Well, duh, I've reached this amount. I can use as much data as I want because it's data,
Whichever, I think.
tomato, tomato.
Yeah.
I just
Data.
don't stay like if I'm paying you this fee, which is more than what the limited data servers fees are.
Right.
I should feel free. Now I get it that it has to go around to everybody and it does affect the frequency some. Yes, but don't be making my phone work less
Right.
Right.
or as fast because I'm doing what I'm.
That would take me
Paying
out. What do you
for
have?
it.
Do you have AT&T?
I have AT&T. I don't have
You all have
unlimited, but
AT&T?
Yes, I'm fed up with them right now. So.
Oh, why? What happened?
Sydney's heated.
Well, I ordered.
Here we go again.
I ordered my 6, and it's taken a month for it to get here.
Shocked. Oh wait,
Jeez.
that's Mac though, right? iPhones.
Oh well, yeah, true.
Okay.
But I ordered it all from the
But you
AT&T.
ordered
You're not
it
an
from
Apple
the
fan
AT&T.
anyway.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
fine.
Droider.
Droid. Listen, I've got Verizon and I've got Droid, and I have none of these issues that y'all are complaining about. I have no issues. Like my phone doesn't stop working ever. My phone doesn't shut down randomly.
I've been wanting to switch to Verizon for forever.
Yes!
Just because I really want
Join the
Verizon.
Sith.
Join us.
Switch to Droid and join us.
Well, I
Switch
did
to
have an
Droid.
Android, but my Android always messed up, so that's why I switched to an iPhone.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I never had any problems with it.
Sydney just can't win for loot.
You can't win. You got a song?
No.
Michael Jackson song.
Sing it, Chad.
Guess-
Chris Rock. Any Saturday Night Live fans here?
Yeah, I
Yes,
watched
Did you
it.
see it?
Which one? Which
This
time?
past Saturdays.
I
Chris
watched the
Rock.
first half of it. I thought it was bad, so I
Yeah.
turned it off.
Well, Chris Rock, his opening monologue is causing many people to fire back at him and the writers after he made a couple of jokes regarding the Boston Marathon bombing and the 9/11 attacks. He said, you know, the New York City Marathon was last weekend. And it was on Sunday. And as he was talking about, it is marathon weekend, yada, 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 he goes on to say that there's nothing worse after running a marathon and reaching the finish line than someone screaming run in regards to when the Boston Marathon bombings happened. The bombs went off next to the finish line. And then he went on to discuss the Freedom Tower in New York City, which is in the place of the Twin Towers.
Yes.
And he said it should be named Never Going In There Tower because he won't go in there, and said, who was the corporate sponsor? Target?
Ooh.
As in, it's a target for terrorist attacks. Insert foot in math, Chris Rock.
I mean, Chris Rock is an idiot and he's offensive all the time, but this definitely was probably the wrong place to say it.
Right.
On SNL in New York City.
And you just
he
don't
write
joke
this?
about stuff like that.
I know. I
Did he
think
write
that
this?
even if he didn't write it, which I'm sure he probably had some
Something to do
say
with
in
it.
this
Yeah.
monologue because he is a comedian.
Right.
But even if he didn't write it, and he was going over it in the rehearsals,
I wouldn't say that.
like if you've got ethics and you've got morals and you care for this country and you know that this is a sensitive issue still to this day, 9/11 and the Boston Marathon, you say, no, I'm not going to talk about this. We need to come
Right.
up with some
Right.
better material.
Learn how to
Right.
say no, like they taught us in middle school.
Now, I will say, you know, I'm not a comedian, but I hear all the time, comedians, there is that, they push that on, Joan Rivers, you know,
Right.
they have that envelope. That's why they are so well known because they see that line and they cross it.
Right.
But there's certain lines that even I think comedians themselves should say, we're gonna stay away from.
Well,
that.
there are certain lines that where it's not funny anymore.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
well, it's like if you
Well,
watch.
the Boston Marathon and 9/11, that's never gonna be funny.
Right. Well,
No.
I mean, you know, if you watch like, you guys know Daniel Tosh Point?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, if you ever watch any of his stand-up, he makes all kinds of like abortion jokes and stuff, and like, you know, fat people dying of obesity jokes. That's incredibly offensive.
Yes.
Yet it's funny because he delivers it in a way that it's okay. But to deliver this, especially when the issue is still so sensitive, in New York City at SNL, which is just down the way
Down
from
a couple blocks
where all
away
this
from
happened.
everything.
Why is that a good decision? It's not. So.
So
And Chris Rock, he's pushed the limit.
Yeah.
Like a couple
Definitely.
times.
yeah,
But this is
so.
Everybody hates Chris. That's really
I really
happening.
do now. Everybody hates
everybody
Chris.
hates Chris.
But I didn't even like that show, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't
didn't.
either.
I thought it was ridiculous. But what's not ridiculous? Well, this is ridiculous too. We have to go because apparently we're short on time because I don't know why. We should just be a 24/7 show.
Yeah, for real.
nonstop.
Would you all keep watching?
No, I'd be like, I'm done. We'll be right back with some friends of Caroline's talking about the Children's Hour. Don't go away.
Welcome back to What's Up. As you all know, I'm part of the theater department here at
No.
Morgan State. Yeah, I know.
Since
right?
when?
I don't talk about it all the time. So right now we're working on a production called The Children's Hour, written by Lillian Hellman, and I'm involved in it. And here to also talk about her involvement with the show is my co-star Kelsey Flannery. So welcome, Kelsey.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Thank you for coming. So can you tell us a little bit about The Children's Hour without giving too much away, of course?
Okay, yes. Well, the major themes of it, I think, are about deception. It is mainly about two school teachers, and someone tells a lie about them. And it kind of, all this, all this chaos.
And we're the two school
ensues.
teachers, so it's like.
Right, yeah, so, and it is set in the 1930s, so any scandal of any kind is like really heightened circumstances. So, yeah, so it's more about deception than anything, and the chaos that a lie can tell, and the aftermath of the lie.
Yeah.
Sounds like y'all need Olivia Pope on this.
I'm telling
we
you,
do.
it's so dramatic. How have you been dealing with, like, has the dramatic side of it affected you at all, or is it just like?
Oh no, it's definitely a show where after rehearsals we have to go watch Disney movies afterwards, or sing happy songs, or find something happy to do to uplift you, because it is such a heavy show during some parts.
So this
or
isn't a
gets
show
there.
for kids to be coming to.
No, well, no.
Like,
Well, it's not inappropriate, exactly. It's a good thing for them to be exposed to, I think. Like, the themes are good.
It's a little misleading, I think, because it's called the Children's Hour, but
Right.
yet it's not.
yeah, that's
for
why we want
children.
to make sure
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
Right.
Barney does not make an appearance in this.
Not exactly, no.
No. So what's your involvement with the show? Like, what's your role?
My role is Karen Wright. I'm one of the school teachers, along with Caroline, who is also a school teacher with me.
Is she hard to work with, Caroline?
Oh, Caroline is
I know.
delightful. She's wonderful.
She's not.
Why isn't that Caroline ever present here?
Quit it.
No, me and Caroline actually have worked on several shows together, and this is one of our last shows together since we're both seniors. So it's just
Don't
been.
remind me.
It's
No,
been great
Chad's gonna
though.
miss us so much.
No,
Yeah.
you're
Can't lose
fantastic.
Caroline.
That's great.
So, we talked about how intense the show is.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that something you prefer? Do you like the more dramatic roles, or are you more of a comedy type of actress?
Well, I have never done a dramatic role like this, is like on this scale of production. I don't think I've done, short plays like that, but this is the most involvement I've had with dramatic, and I'm very glad that I get to do that before I graduate. It's a lot harder to do than comedy, I think. Well,
really?
not harder so much as it gets to you more. I think you need to find ways to uplift yourself, because there are parts of this play that it hits so close to home for me, but at the same time I think it's a very it's a therapeutic thing at the same time. And I think the audience will find that too, that the themes, they can relate to a lot of the themes, which is what makes it such a good show.
Yeah, and I think it helped, to come across more honestly, the more we are in it, even though it's crushing our souls every night at rehearsal.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, it's just, man, it's
So
gonna
you
be
even
rough.
put your all in at the rehearsals too.
Oh, yeah. Every
Yeah.
night.
See,
But Caroline
that's-
is just
I don't know
amazing.
how-
to
No,
watch.
Kelsey's all over it. I'm telling you, I don't know how we get through it, because afterwards we just always have a little hug, and it's like, it's fine, it's okay.
Yeah, it's good to work with such close friends too, because Caroline's
try
one of
to-
my best friends, and
Yes.
so having her there with me is definitely.
You'll try to like make jokes and stuff between scenes and stuff when you're taking breaks, or do you try to
the
stay in
thing
character?
is, yeah, that's what we have found that's hurting us, because
Right.
if we do try to get out of it like that, at least I've noticed that it's hard for me to get back into it. Like,
Okay.
it throws me off a little bit. I don't know about you.
Well, yeah, we try to stay as focused as possible throughout the rehearsal time, but like in the 5 minutes afterwards, we try to get out of it as fast whenever the night's done.
Right.
We try to.
So if anyone wants to get a ticket to this, where can they get their tickets?
At the box office, they can either call and reserve a ticket, or they can go visit down in the box office on the first floor of Breckenridge. Awesome.
And what are the show dates?
November 18th through the 23rd, and the 18th through the 22nd are night performances at 7:30, and the 23rd is a matinee at 2.
So people should get there around 7:15.
Yeah, about a half hour, 15 minutes before.
Yeah, I went and reserved my ticket thinking that the show was tonight, really. And
We're not quite ready yet.
good, because I walked into the theater and I was like, Caroline?
Now we're still
Not
painting
quite,
on
yeah,
it.
not quite. Yeah, Kelsey and I are also the two painters for the show,
we have
and
paint on it.
along with our paint baby Randall, and that's why I'm covered in paint. That's why I have this
All the
sweater
time,
on,
yes.
so you can't see the
Try to
paint
hide the
covering our eyes. Well, thank you, Kelsey, for
Thank
being
you
on the
for
show
having
today.
me.
Yes,
Yeah.
please get your tickets to see the Children's Hour. It's going to be so awesome, and you will not regret it, I promise. And we will be right back to What's Up, so stay tuned.
And welcome back to What's Up. You might see these two flipping around campus and wondering what are they doing, but they're actually doing a thing called free run, which is also known as parkour. So here with us today is Urban Flyers with the Z,
The Z. Don't forget the Z.
Dre and Landon.
So guys, what compelled you all to start doing this?
For me, I've been flipping since I was like 10 years old. So when I actually moved out, I saw a video on YouTube of people jumping off buildings and flipping, and I was like, hey, I can do that flip. Maybe I should do it off a building. And I just drew an interest to it and started doing it from then.
Mine's nothing that special. I was a runner, still am a runner. I run for here at Moorhead, but my passion for running, I kind of looked it up on YouTube, and as I looked up running, I saw it said free running. I was like, I wonder what this is. So I clicked on it, and I saw some guys doing some crazy stuff on tops of buildings and flipping, and I was like, wow. I was like, that's pretty neat. So one day, I kind of just grew a pair and did a flip, and I liked it. And so here we are today, making a group and making our name.
So training, whether it's like physical or mentally training yourselves, how do you guys go about this process? Because I know it has to be difficult.
Yes, it's both mental and physical. The mental part, it's really all in your head. A lot of the stuff you can do on the ground, like right in front of you, but if you put a gap in there with a 10-story building, it can mess up your head, of course. I mean, it's life or death.
Yeah.
But basically, you just picture it as doing it, back at home. Picture it just a straight ground and jump, flip.
Do you guys ever get worried? Like when you're doing these big injury risk flips and
Yeah.
tricks and all this stuff. I mean,
think
there
part-
has to be thoughts going through your head before you get ready to do them.
I think
so.
part of our ignorance comes with our age. I mean, we're still young, so we think we can do what we can and get away with it. So far, we've been pretty lucky, but it's pretty crazy when we're about to do something. He did a flip, Orlando, Florida. Is that right? And it was a large gap jump, and like he could do it on the ground, but you get out in the public, and you get out and with a gap, and kind of just you freeze up. So you have to block. You have to have a mental block. You have to get that out of your head. You have to think. You think, well, if I can do it on the ground, I can do it now. It only hurts for a second. So,
Dre, I know you went to Florida this last summer. Talk about that.
Yes, actually, I went to Florida with another member of ours, Solomon Jackson. He's not here right now. He's in Lexington. But me and him went to Florida, and we trained with a group that first got me started in Lexington. They're called Rilla Hops. If you ever want to figure out what is parkour, what's free running, I recommend them to be the first video you look at. But yeah, we went to Orlando, Florida, and trained with them. We spent like 7 days there, training over at University of Central Florida, just anywhere downtown, the park. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. All right, so are you guys working on any tricks for the future? Anything you guys are preparing yourselves for that you haven't done yet?
Yeah, there's a few. I'm not as advanced yet for the flipping off the wall, so I'm trying to get my head right. Get that. We can do the hand. We'll take our hand, and he'll take his hand, and then he'll push me up. I can do a backflip off his hand, but just gradually you get a mat and you do it off and land on a mat, and then you'll have enough. Yeah. You'll get your head right. I can do it on a mat. I can do it anywhere. And then once you get that down, it's like every trick, and his tricks are just as advanced, if not way more. So
yeah, because I've seen you do some crazy stuff, and it makes me mad because I was in gymnastics from the age of 3 to like 13, and you all can do more stuff than I can do. So kudos to y'all.
The thing about like parkour and free running, like you can never beat it. It's something that somebody's always doing 3 flips in the air. Someone's doing a front flip, back flip, some sort of twist. So there's always something you can't do, and that's what makes it exactly. And that's what makes it fun and exciting. So I mean, right now I'm working on mainly twists and stuff like that because that's the main thing. I haven't got down to a science, but that's the main thing I'm working on right now.
You guys, the stuff that you do is awesome. We actually have a clip of one of their videos, so you guys can kind of get a taste of what they do, and just make sure you get mentally prepared because it's kind of jarring, but they're great at it. Thank you guys so much for being here, and we'll be right back after the break.
We're back. We're back. Oh, sorry.
Oh, dang.
Sorry. Thanks.
Sorry.
Thanks.
I can explain.
Caught me on
Thanks,
guard.
guys. Well, that was a fun half hour, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Make sure the polls are still open for a little bit, a few more minutes. Go vote. If you can vote right now, if you live in Round County or close county by, go and vote.
Yes.
That's what's important. No matter who you vote for, as long as you vote and get your voice heard. Because if you don't vote, and you can vote, you don't get to complain when something happens.
Exactly.
You don't get to talk. I mean, you can talk about the issues, but you don't really get to talk about them like Caroline and I just did.
Right.
Because
Well, everyone's always like, oh, I don't vote because I'm rebelling against the system. And I'm saying, you're not rebelling, you're surrendering to the system. You know what I mean? Put your voice out there.
Preach it, girl.
Write
Go
in
out
Kitty for Senate, because
Kitty.
from what we've learned today, that's the only good candidate.
Follow Kitty on Twitter.
Yep.
Follow Kitty.
Speaking of Kitty and Twitter, Kitty, even though she did vote for me, I lost the costume contest last week to Sydney.
Yay, Sydney!
So,
Yes. My
Hey,
family's
Sydney.
very competitive,
her
so I'm
family,
sorry.
they were like, Sydney all the way, Sydney,
I'm sorry.
Sydney, like Sydney. I was like, well, okay. Even though my
How
grandmother.
close was it?
landslide. Even though my grandmother voted against me too. Thanks.
Who'd your grandma vote for?
Yeah.
You and Austin. Voted twice against me. Holly voted for Austin.
Oh.
Thanks, family.
Holly,
Also,
the best.
speaking of Facebook, really quick, we've reached our 150th Facebook like. We did a random drawing before the show. Congratulations to Livy Long. You've got some more head-related items coming your way, so congratulations, and make sure you all go and like our stuff, and we'll do some more giveaways before the season's over.
Yeah.
like our stuff.
Like our stuff. We will be back next time with all kinds of fun and a little bit calmer, I hope. But until
more
then, always stop to listen to What's Up? Bye, guys.
That was
So serious.
To learn more about What's Up, go to msutv.net.